The presentation of today's racing program is a copyrighted broadcast of the New York Racing Association, Incorporated. Any rebroadcast, recreation, or retransmission of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of the New York Racing Association, Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand for our national anthem. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Belmont Park. Cloudy skies on this first Friday in October. Temperature will be right around 60 degrees. Main track is fast. The turf courses are firm. Portable rail is up on the inner turf at 27 feet, and there is no portable rail in use today on the Widener. We have a jackpot carryover in the Empire 6 of more than $231,000. Right now, we'll take a look at the changes for the 10-race program. In the first race, scratch number 7, My Amangina. Scratch the 7. Note that number 2, King of American, is 1 pound over, and number 5, Judicial Restraint, is a colt, not a Ridgeling. Second race, scratch the 4, Wishes and Dreams. Scratch number 4, Wishes and Dreams. In the third race, right now, we have just one scratch. Take out the 4, Let Me Take This Call. Third race, scratch the 4. No changes in the fourth. Race 5 will start the Empire 6, and in the fifth, scratch the 5, American Rule. Scratch number 5, out of race 5. In today's sixth race, currently these scratches: scratch 1, GLYNN County, 4, Advance Notice, and 6, Point Him Out. Scratch 1, 4, and 6 from the sixth. In the seventh race, scratch number 6, AZOGAR. Scratch number 6, AZOGAR. In today's eighth race, and again, there will be more changes to come. Eighth race, scratch 8, Forza de Oro, 9, Bird King, and 11, Assiduously. Scratch 8, 9, and 11. Note that number 5, Basquiat, is a Ridgeling, and number 12, Turn of Events, is 1 pound over. Today's ninth race is the Bertram F. Bongard Stakes. Scratch 5, Thin White Duke, and 8, New York 1. Scratch 5 and scratch 8 from race 9, the Bertram Bongard. And in today's 10th race, and again, more changes to follow. Scratch number 7, Fast Gordon. Scratch the 7. Number 2, Mr. Fidget is a main track only horse, but he should be listed as a Ridgeling. And for number 8, Money in the Bank, the rider will be carrying no whip. The rider will have no whip for the 8, Money in the Bank. Main track fast, turf course is firm. Empire 6, jackpot carryover of $231,740. We'll come back at 12:30 to recap the changes. Today's first race post is at 12:50. Coming up next, the Friday edition of Talking Horses with Andy Serling and Anthony Stabile.
make business meetings exquisite. Make a weekend outing exquisite. Make a late night snack exquisite. Make a night on the town exquisite. For nearly 150 years, the Saratoga Spring Water Company has been producing the finest spring water available anywhere. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. He is the Big A, Anthony Stabile. I'm Andy Serling, and welcome to another day of racing at Belmont Park. 10-race card. Do want to let people know that it was just announced that all the MTOs have been withdrawn or will be withdrawn from today's card. We are on the turf. Turf is firm. Track is fast. A little bit of rain. It pretty much skirts. A couple of brief showers.
Yeah. Looking west, see blue skies to the west here.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's supposed to be a beautiful day.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, supposed to be a beautiful 3 days now, getting into a little bit of an autumn feel. Temperature's not really supposed to get to 70 the next few days. Maybe a little rain Monday, but clears out again. So
you're really on
we're
top
in a nice
of your game today.
Nice little weather
report.
pattern. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a busy weekend. We look forward to
big week next weekend too. 5-day
yeah.
weekend through Columbus Day, and the weather forecast, the long-term weather forecast is terrific. And big races this Saturday, obviously here in a lot of places, but a very big weekend here next weekend as well. So a lot of good racing
Jockey
coming
Club
up.
Gold Cup.
Well, with the Breeders' Cup November 7th, things are sort of pushed back a little bit. Let's get rolling, though. We do have a lot to do today.
We do.
Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member, sign up. Good time to sign up. Use the promo code PREAK. We will match up at $200 of your initial deposit plus a $25 free play. Support racing in New York. Play through Naira Bets. Also, you remember Naira Bets, you can play in our tournaments. We have a Pimlico and Belmont special Preakness Day tournament. The details are available at nairabets.com/challenge. I believe it's a mandatory 4 here and 3 at Pimlico. $300 buy-in. A bunch of it goes to the prize pool. A bunch of it also goes to your live bankroll, and you keep any and all monies you make, whether or not you get any of the prize money. Also want to remind people,
this I'm looking forward to.
Cross Country Big Five, 5 Grade 1s, the Joe Hirsch, the First Lady, the Belmont Derby, the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, and the Shadwell. That'll be taking approximately an hour and 45 minutes. I think 5 Grade 1s, 3 at Keeneland, 2 here. That's tomorrow, the Cross Country Big Five. That looks like a good sequence. Anthony and I have an hour show tomorrow, so hopefully get a chance to go over some of those races out of town, including the Preakness. I have a video for the Preakness as well that's available on the Naira YouTube page. I'll have to tweet that out again. Let's get to work on today's
I think they may have
card.
tweeted it out for you already over at Naira Bets.
They
You
did,
could always do it as well.
but I tweeted it yesterday, and so did Naira.
Okay.
Of course, they always tweet Naira. I mean, we have the greatest. We have Fran. She's like a machine. Race number 1. I wonder what the odds will be by post time, because I think Blood Moon is probably supposed to be favored in here. My problem with Blood Moon, and I tended to agree with David's morning line that he would be favored, and he probably should be. My problem with him is I know he's running against better horses. I think that fig for the last race is a little on the high side, looking at the field overall. This horse, his races for Danny Gargan just weren't very good. His race 2 back, I know he lost the second choice, but it was like a second choice when there was no third choice.
Correct.
And I'm just dubious of this horse. I'm not a big fan of judicial restraint. Anthony will look at his last race. I think, though, that Jose Ortiz learned last time, you got to ride this horse into the race. I just wanted him over the other one, but one of these two has to win, right?
I mean, you would have to think, right? One of these two horses kind of have to win. And again, we'll talk about this sometimes with the bottom level maidens where you did a great job in the last, by the way. That was a tough race. You were on 1, 2, 3 in a try and exacta box. That was pretty remarkable. We talk about those bottom level maidens, and I kind of look at the condition claimers the same way. Blood Moon's 1 for 12. The Source was 1 for 3 in the 2 races where he ran in spots where he had a chance to win. Yeah, he got beat a long way to Fried Rice King the first time in for the tag, but last time he got the job done, like you said, Jose Ortiz, that is, probably learned a little bit that this horse is. I don't want to condemn this horse off 3 starts, but he's a little bit of a lazy type, and you got to kind of stay on top of him.
He is who he is.
You got to kind of stay on top of him, and if he does that, I think he can. Look. I'm just sick of seeing Blood Moon and he
I
just run
agree.
these races.
I agree. He was supposed to win 2 races back.
And last time out's a problem because he didn't lift his legs last
Yeah,
time.
I have some trouble with that figure last time, and it's interesting. Some of those horses are coming back. Striking Speed, I think, is in on Sunday's card,
That's
and that
tomorrow,
yes,
Sunday, I think, yeah.
I'm not against him. I think those two, and if somebody else wins, I'm going to lose. I couldn't come up with a different alternative. Race number 2. Now, I did not like Wishes and Dreams, and I'm sorry to see this horse scratch because he was going to take a lot of money in race number 2, and I think his last race was very, very phonied up. You're going to take a first-time starter.
Yeah, I'm very much along the same lines of Blood Moon. And the horse I put the horse you have on top's only run once. But as for the rest of them, I've just seen it. I've seen enough. Really? So I went to Madeira. George Weaver on the short numbers has some good figures, debuting for a tag first time.
Not really. 6 for 28, 21%, $1.81 doing it on the dirt. In dirt sprints. I mean, not terrible numbers.
They're
but
not terrible. I mean, in here,
about.
she's not going to have to be much, Andy.
It's much more of a turf pedigree, though. I agree. Listen, I've got the horse fourth. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't lean on firsters. I think leaning on firsters, you end up taking it the worst of it in this race.
I'm not necessarily going to lean on her, but I do believe of the
leaning
horses
on her
I think can win. Well, yeah, but I do believe of the horses that can win, that I think can win, she'll be the best price.
Well, you've got the 2 Canarsie Girl completely left out. You don't think this is a good trainer switch to Bruce Brown? I know it's a long layoff, but why wouldn't you want to use this horse?
I do, but off of 17 months.
So what?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm putting the horse on top, but I'm absolutely using this horse. Bruce Brown's horse has been running well. I have no reason to believe.
Bruce horses have been running well for a while.
I have no reason to believe this horse can't run. I think that Ain't None Lucky is a very logical horse. I know that she was bad last time out. She was wide, and you were probably better off on the rail that day, and she's claimed by Michelle Nevin. I think she's very logical. I like Shanny Go Nanny for Carlos Martin, who at times has had success making this turf to dirt move with second-time starters. And if you look at the pedigree of this horse, Featherbed, that was Todd Pletch. That was the Purple Silts. Peachtree.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this horse is really, there's one okay turf runs, but it's really much more of a dirt pedigree, a street sense. And I thought Shanny Go Nanny was a very logical new face in here.
Yeah. I'll be using her as well.
Be using 7, 2s, and 6s in race number 2. Race number 3. I struggled a bit with race number 3. I think Speightstown Gal, the 5, is the horse to beat in here. I put her on top. I actually thought she ran pretty well in this race we'll take a look at here. You know, the race kind of fell apart. Horses were coming at the end. The winner of this race, I know she improved, but she did come back with a big win, and she had an easier trip. Speightstown Gal was on top of the pace and wider than the others, and I just thought she might be the best horse in here.
I don't disagree that she's likely the best horse in here, and one of her last 3 races make her very competitive in here. I just, last time out, I don't know, I kind of felt like she caught Lead Guitar when Lead Guitar was off the 18 days and on the ship, and I thought I thought she probably should have won last time.
But the 18 days didn't matter.
And that bothers me
The 18 days didn't matter. She got a soft turf the time before that. I think you're making a post-race excuse that's not valid.
I just felt like I felt like she had to get the job done last time. This was
I
that's the
don't
only
agree at
reason
all.
I picked against her.
Okay. Okay, talk about Beaux-Art.
I'm just hoping Beaux-Art gets in front, and that's why I put the 9 and the 5, 1, 2 here, just hoping this race is dominated on the front end. Beaux-Art's
You
supposed
sure
to,
she's going to be in front here?
I'm pretty sure she's going to get in
I'm
front
not.
of these horses.
She
Okay.
might. Depends.
I think she will.
I'm dubious.
I think she will.
My problem with Beaux-Art, and I've tried her
10
before.
seconds?
No. That's the part. I don't care about that because she's a big price. She runs better in Jersey than she runs here. She's a New
that's a
York
fair
bred
point.
that doesn't seem to run as well in New York as she does
That's
out
a
of town.
fair point.
And I've been dealing with her for years because there were a couple races at Saratoga. We liked her. In years past, she got rained off. I just feels like her better races come out of town.
There were also a couple of instances where I felt like, for whatever reason, she either couldn't or didn't get the lead. And I think she will get the lead today.
I don't, but forgetting about that, why is getting in front of this field going to help her win anyway?
Well, I think getting in front of the field is going to give her an advantage if Speightstown, because
Not going fast, it won't. The only way you're advantaged by going in front is if you're the controlling speed, and she's not.
Well, who do you think's going to be in front?
Well, I think there's a potential for a number of horses to show speed. I think Risky Mischief could show speed. I think Saratoga Love could show speed. I think Spitestown Gal could show speed. I'm not saying that she's not necessarily going to be in front, because I do get what you're saying with Bozart. And I have no idea how these races can be run. And just assuming that Kendra Carmouche is going to be in front of races is a very dangerous proposition.
What I'm assuming is her better races are when she's in front. Risky Mischief's turf race, she came from off the pace. Because I saw the same thing you did. Spitestown Gal's best two races, I think, were from off the pace, and Saratoga Love definitely wants to have. I think would
they were
rather
off the
have
pace in wicked pace races. These are forward horses. I don't know. I don't think getting the 9 in front is going to necessarily get her the winner's circle. I get her as a price. That's fine. She's a big price in here. Risky Mischief, I'm not sure what to do with her. She got a very good ride by Irad to win last time out. She beat a horse that came back to win sort of surprisingly going long. She might be okay, but, man, she got some trip last time out, and these are tougher horses. Third,
if there's a perfect trip in a 5.5 furlong turf race, this is it.
Some riding over.
And it was a great ride by Arad. Jose's going to take over today, little brother. But I kind of, when I looked at this horse, I kind of, you were resonating, you were banging around the old duder's head saying it's kind of hard to expect a perfect trip again. And I don't know if she wins last time without that trip. She probably doesn't. The second horse probably wins.
It's also a much tougher field.
Yeah.
I think JC's Shooting Star, you have to say that she can still run. She ran very well 2 races back. Quick pace or not, she still got the job done. And I know she didn't run great 2 back at Saratoga. But see, I think she's a horse that this will be a more favorable pace scenario for her. And I think she's not impossible, JC's Shooting Stars. I'm mostly 5/8, it's a little 2.
Okay.
See what happens in race number, is that 4th or 3rd?
3.
Race number 4.
You're going to get rid of me already?
I'm just confused. That horn, that siren. They calling for you?
I think it's a fire truck.
Race number 4, Back Channel, obviously a very heavy favorite in race number 4, unless the firsters are bet off the board. This horse ran last time. You can't deny it. This was an extremely good performance.
Yeah.
I know she's had chances, but she was good last time.
Yeah, she has had some chances. She was good last time out. I don't know if she is just getting good at this point, because this race last time out was, in my opinion, light years better than her first two efforts.
I don't know. I thought her second race was very good, but okay.
Yeah, I thought this race was light years better than anything she had done in the past. She's gonna have to, I think, duplicate that effort. I was told both Tactical Move and Star Front could run.
Ooh, you got tips. You're 2 ahead of me.
I was told they could both run. I have a bigger push on Tactical Move.
But you picked Chad on top.
But I picked Starfront on top. I did.
Okay, have at it.
Well, Chad's just a little better with first-time stars than Belmont is. That was pretty much just the coin flip. That was it.
That's
really.
not specifically true. Starfront is a half to dirt horses, like the mighty eloquent Riddle, who won for Chad, who was not much horse. It's a big turf second family. I know nothing about this horse. I believe you have tips. I don't know anything. But I will show you a stat that suggests that maybe that isn't really accurate. 3-year-old filly first-time starters, Belmont. These are in dirt sprints overall. He's 9 for 30, 345 ROI with 18 hitting the board. At Naira alone, he's 5 for 11 with 7 hitting the board with a $5 ROI. So actually, these 3-year-old filly and dirt sprint stats for Belmont are absolutely exceptional. The dam herself, that was Pletcher, right? Wasn't Game Face Todd?
I want to say this was Godolphin the whole way.
Yeah, maybe it was Kieran, I think.
Pretty sure it was Kieran.
There were 3 okay horses from this dam, and I'm going to guess with this one.
The one-time fastest horse in the world is a half to the one-time fastest horse in the world.
Who's that?
Coliseum.
God, I don't even remember that.
Coliseum won first
that horse
time out.
that Baffert had.
They made the horse 12-1 in the Derby Future Book.
Right,
off
and
the
he
maiden
never
win.
hit the board. It never won again.
He only ran
twice more, and he bombed.
Twice more, and he was nowhere to be found. Coliseum. And that was the last foal.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that horse. That
I
was
guess he would
ago?
only be 4. Right. Well, so that makes sense.
Ago.
He would only be 4 now. It's taken this filly a while to get to the races.
Yeah, I forgot about that horse. That's right.
Maybe there's a 2-year-old running around somewhere. I don't know.
What about Undine? Yeah, I don't know if you believe in this, but I am seeing a movie next week at the New York Film Festival called Undine.
Can't believe it.
If you were in that situation, though, wouldn't you be betting this horse? Wouldn't that be like a weird?
I don't bet hunches. I'm not a hunch guy. I'm not a hunch guy. My opinion's way too good to be betting.
You're a guy that believes in betting the horse trained by the first guy you come in. Why is that any different seeing a horse that has the same
That's
name
karma.
as a movie I'm
It's not a
seeing next
hunch.
week? No,
That's not a hunch.
this
That's
is not
karma.
a hunch. It's
That's
not a hunch.
karma.
This is more karmic.
No, absolutely not. No shit. You have no idea what karma is. If you think that's more karmic,
I know what karma is, believe me, and I think a lot of people know what karma is, especially right now.
That's not it.
Anyhow, we'll see. I don't think it's karma. No, karma wouldn't be. I don't think it's karma. I think it's more voodoo, right? You thinking that you see like Eddie Barker, and so the first horse is going to win. I see a name of a movie I'm going to see.
I have a voodoo doll.
I know, you told us you did. Yeah. Good luck with it. How's it work so far?
I'm
still okay.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm still
I'm going
okay.
to break it out in about a month. I'm going to break the voodoo doll out in about a month.
Really?
Yeah.
And for what?
About a month.
Game Face was Todd, by the way. I got 2 texts.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was.
She was a home. So I guess they bought her for the Broodmare band. Okay. She's a homebred.
Race number 5. I struggled with race number 5. Sergeant Drive.
Yeah, I struggled.
Dude.
I struggled with it too.
Dude. Really?
I struggled with it too.
Well, I wasn't drinking. So the difference was I wasn't drinking when I handicapped.
I
it.
wasn't
may
either.
have
Where'd
been.
you go? Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's
no,
one
no.
of- it's one of
I
those
want to get how
races.
you're getting Sergeant Drive home. Sergeant Drive didn't win when he was good.
I just
When Sergeant Drive actually was a decent horse, sure couldn't get him to win. Right? I mean, he's kind of a frustrating horse.
he is, but who do you want here? I mean, at the very least,
I don't
he's
want
run
Sergeant
some
Drive.
decent races.
Not
down here.
recently.
No, I mean it's been a while, but you know what? He didn't run great 2 starts back, but he kind of woke up cutting back.
How about last time?
To the 5.5. Last time was just
It's relevant, isn't it?
yeah. I'm not.
What do you
saying
like
it's not.
about him?
I'm hoping I'm hoping the cutback woke him up back in the early part of the month. I don't know what happened last time, but he's running them back
7
in two
today.
and a half weeks. He gets 7. Yeah, I
And
like this
that's-
kid, Charlie Marquez. He's going to get some weight off. Listen, I'll take any edge I can in here. I want the thumb to the eye in here. This is a rough race, man.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you like Sergeant Drive's only 5-1 morning line. He
Yeah.
should be 15-1.
Why do you think that? I mean, what's
He's got
in here,
he's got
Andy?
nothing. How's he going to win this race? He couldn't win when he was. My problem with Sergeant Drive is even when he was good, he never won. That's my problem with him, and he's just bad now.
I have to think those horses he's faced in his last 2 starts are at least more accomplished in this field. And forget
I don't know
about the
what that
race. I don't know
means.
what happened last time, but
He was terrible because he just isn't any good anymore. Listen, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, if he's 30-1, you want to bet him, but I don't.
I had a tough
5 to
time
1.
with this heat.
Okay, I don't. I'm not sure I hear a reason why to like him, but this is a tricky race. I agree. Now, Daddy Knows is probably the horse to beat. We'll take a look at his race 2 back when he won in the slop, and we'll show you a stat for Linda. She's got good numbers coming off these layoffs. Those! Don't you just love those rainy winter days at Big A? Is it possible that you and I, that those 2 people together, that love the Big A more than we do?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Just love the idea of taking that subway out to the racetrack.
Here he is holding off Tiergan.
I bet him this day.
I know
He
you
was my
did.
last winner, I think.
January 25th. That's about right. Tiergan coming
Sounds right.
from the moon, trying to get up.
How about those stats for Linda?
That's a solid stat.
6 to 9 months. I was looking at that. I didn't want to take just the 180. I wanted to see, ones that came back, but not, long after, because it's a little over, not my usual 4 to 8 months. I don't want to pick him, but
I'm
he's
worried
the
about
worst
the
to
drop.
beat.
I'm worried about the drop. Worried about the drop, knowing that Aqueduct is a month away, and
Oh, the drop.
in
yeah.
all likelihood, there's a 2 other end that has this horse's name on it this winter. If the horse that exists
He's a
before the
5-year-old
layoff,
gelding.
so that's the problem.
I picked that Bobby from the Palm. I think you can make some excuses for some of his races. First
It's
of
your
all,
Bruce Brown day.
he was Bobby. I didn't pick Bruce Brown top the other days. He wasn't pinched to the start last time. I think he was just sort of jumped up. I think the door kind of closed, but the deal had been sealed. I didn't think that he was pinched. I thought it was a jump up. But he did take him out of the race early, and it was a race that was absolutely controlled towards the front end. They were better horses in the slot. The time before that, he got run off his feet. He made that big middle move in the race, going 2 turns at Saratoga. I don't see him as really a 2-turn type horse. His race before that seemed very logical. I just thought he was the logical alternative. I don't think there's anything particularly clever about him. Can I take a lunch, the 4 against the 8? You don't have the 4 in the top. We haven't. Did we had that one no bet, and then we have. I don't. I think I know we're at
thought we
53.
had something.
So did I, but I forget it. I want the 4 against the 8 for lunch.
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay, 53. Anybody else? Oh, I thought Mr. Short and Simple. I know his form has completely disintegrated. I don't know if he can run anymore. Soppy track last time. He is a new gelding. I had liked him 2 back. You liked the winner. It was a good pick. He was 7-1. I did not like. He did not run a step. My horse, Mr. Short and Simple. Rudy is obviously having a tough meet so
Yes,
far.
he
He's
is.
0 for 20 something, but those things will change. And I'm gonna
He
use him
won
a
at
little
Finger
bit.
Lakes and he's won at Delaware this week. He just hasn't won here at Belmont Park.
Well,
But I'm sure that'll change
this
sooner
is
rather
New
than
York.
later.
Would you like to take a break and come back for
I
late
would.
pick 5? Let's
I
do
would.
that. Let's take a break.
Some water.
Oh, sorry.
Business meetings, exquisite. Make a weekend outing, exquisite. Make a late night snack, exquisite. Make a night on the town, exquisite. For nearly 150 years, the Saratoga Spring Water Company has been producing the finest spring water available anywhere. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses, presented by our good friends at Saratoga Water. You're very proud of the little setup you've made with the Saratoga
I
Water.
think it looks
set.
beautiful.
You really are. You've really done a fine job.
Maybe, you know, when time to hang up the old racing form, I can do a little decorating.
Is that your little
couldn't even
decorating?
get
Really?
it.
You see
I
yourself?
couldn't even get it out
You see
straight.
yourself as the future's interior decorator.
I couldn't even get
It's
it
good
out
to have
straight.
a fallback position. I'm not sure if that's going to be yours, but who knows?
Whenever I think of this, I think about the Sopranos scene where he says he was part of the interior, and Paulie misinterprets what Tony says and says, this guy was interior decorator over in Czechoslovakia, but he was telling him he was like part of like
Interior,
special forces.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
could be an
to
interior
remember
decorator.
and laugh about on that show. I'm shocked. You picked Bob. You picked your buddy here, Bob Edwards.
I'm going to tell you something about this horse.
Tell me something about this horse.
I've liked this horse. This horse, when he broke his maiden, he had like an impossible setup.
No, he didn't have a possible setup. He just didn't look like he was going to win, and he suddenly ran.
And he got through, and he got the money. I was like, this horse might be okay. Then he runs back on a month later, and then he's gone. I mean, we don't see this horse for 20 months. And he came back, and, in hindsight, Colonel Liam, I think we both think he's going to be okay.
Oh, I don't know. Where is he?
Well, we don't know where he is, but I mean, off his first race.
I think he would have won the Belmont Derby if he was running
well,
in it,
that's
so
what
I think he must be
right?
hurt.
Lahara,
Lahara came back and stunk.
But he's been consistent at least.
That figure's too high, Anthony.
Okay, it might be.
It
might be too high.
It's probably mid-80s.
Okay, so even if that's what I was going to say.
For him.
Even if you drop it 10 points, he competes here.
No, I don't disagree. The problem is he's overbet because the 94 is staring people in the face.
Yeah.
There's also another argument with him that maybe firm turf was more his friend. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this horse.
No, they were two races as 2-year-olds. Now he's a 4-year-old. He missed the whole 3-year-old season.
He's got to get a mile and a quarter here, Anthony.
He does.
And that concerns me a little bit with him.
Yeah.
I prefer Doswell. We'll take a look at Doswell's last race. I know Doswell had the run of the race last time, but I'll tell you something. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's about post 7 now.
Right.
So it's a little easier to clear. And
Sure.
why wouldn't Jose Ortiz do the same thing here? Who are the big speeds in this race?
There aren't any. I mean, and he's supposed to.
And he always had ability. I know he didn't win, but lost a good
Correct.
governance in it by a nose.
My issue with him today is this. In all likelihood, he's going to be able to clear again. Is he going to be able to control like he did? I mean, he wants about walking the dog. He walked the dog.
Well,
last
who's
time.
to say though it even matters? Because who's to say he's just not good?
He may very well be.
He just may be a good horse. He may just be better than these horses. See, I think
But he's got to be better for another 3/16 of a mile now.
Why wouldn't he be better going longer?
Well,
who's to say he only wants shorter distances?
Do you want to find out about that at the short price?
Well, he does only have a 3. Well, you think he's going to be a significantly shorter price than Junkanoo, who's got to get a mile and a quarter as well? They're going to be the same price.
You think? I thought there was a chance Doswell would be 8-5 today.
I don't see him being that kind of
I
favorite
think
over at
everybody
Chad
sees what we
Brown.
see. He's loose
But
on
everybody
the
sees
lead.
Chad Brown with a 94 buyer. Anthony, you talk about loose the lead in turf races like it matters.
it mattered for him last time, and you and I kind of have the same scenario painted that he had last time.
Well, it's a better field than last time. Those were maidens. These are winners. He's got Junkanoo, who's got a 94 buyer staring him in the face. I'm not saying he's going to be a big price, but I don't think he's going to be an overwhelming favorite. Don't you think? Don't you think that Success and Surpass is going to take some money in this race?
He should, but I don't know if he's going to take as much money as
he was
Joe.
against the way the race was run. That race was dominated in the front end at a slow pace. He was too wide. I think he could run better in this race. I'm not sure that he's a horse that'll get better with the distance either. GLYNN is sort of always there. He doesn't win, but he always gets a piece. See, I think you and I disagree here strongly.
So the thing about Success and Surpass, he ran against much better horses in his 2 mile and an eighth races. Forza, Neptune Storm. He ran against some nice horses.
He's also not a winning type. He's got 4 seconds and 10 starts.
He's almost like a like a younger version of GLYNN, who's just not. He just doesn't win.
GLYNN's got 17 seconds and thirds and 24 career starts. He also got a great ride by Junior last time and got second because he went inside. You and I have a basic disagreement in this race. I like the 11 Doswell, and I'm somewhat against Junkanoo. You like the 8 Junkanoo, and you're somewhat against Doswell. We'll see.
We're in agreement on the 2 being the.
But it's just a basic difference of the 2 horses that will be the first and second choices. Race number 7. Take a look at Malibu Luna and Loot Scootin' Boogie. I don't like either one of these horses. I prefer Loot. I got them second and third. I shouldn't say I like them. I want to bet against both of them. I prefer Loot Scootin' Boogie. You prefer Malibu Luna.
Yep. Malibu Luna ran 4th first time out. Came back and ran into a tip from Dave Canizzo, who actually got the money, nutsy. Beat Loot Scootin' Boogie a couple of lengths. I don't know. Not thrilled with any of the firsters in here. From what I've seen on the work tab, didn't get any steam in here. You went to the most logical. I don't know anything. I mean, you got a Danny Gargan first time starter. The dam of Danny's horse. Do you remember that horse? She ran once for Todd Pletcher. She won with a 39 buyer. You've got Wayne Potts with a starter in here. You got Rudy's got one. I just thought this one. You look, the foals. They paid $20,000. This horse were 10 flat, and they only paid $20,000. The 2-year-old sale. I thought it was a good work. It's just not that much of a pedigree to speak of. I thought I'd guess this one for your ex-man, Horatio DePaz. You've left him. You really love him and leave him. I tell you what, you really do. Yep.
You really do.
Regular gigolo.
You are. I mean, you and Horatio, you were seriously, you were stalking Horatio DePaz for you were ahead of the curve with him. I'm not knocking you. You were ahead of him winning. He didn't win. He got unlucky, but his horses ran.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess with him. I don't have any. Just a total guess, because I wanted somebody else. This is one of those restricted races, right?
Yes.
45,000 or less.
I believe it's the first one down here.
I do too. I believe you're correct. Day number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Yes.
Race number 8, and a mile and a 16th. I don't like to say horses sort of can't lose in the turf, but we'll take a look at Basquiat finishing 3rd last time. But I will tell you, if Basquiat runs this last race, he's a literal virtual cinch in this race.
We just talked about how the race was dominated on the front end. You see proven strategies there. And this horse made up ground late. Kind of had a little, I don't want to say it was a tough trip, but he certainly didn't have a winning trip. And everything was against him.
It was
on the
a
front
tough
end.
trip. He was 3 wide, 2 to 3 wide on both turns. The race was dominated on the front end in here. He should have finished second. The other horse came up the rail to beat him. They're better horses he's running against today. And I'll tell you something. I think they should send him the front in this race.
I was thinking about that as well.
Who's the speed in this race? You're supposed to.
Wonder if Plot the Dots, the 3, shows a little speed.
Well, it doesn't have any, so I don't know if he tries to, but he doesn't have any. I think Basquiat could be way clear of this field. I don't know why they rated him so much last time, to be honest.
I would ride him aggressively out of that.
I just think you send him the front, and the race is over. You got the best horse in the lead. I'm
not saying Plot the Dots is the speed. I'm saying he could be the speed. But if Basquiat wants
a lot
to
of
lead,
horses can be the speed.
He's gone.
A lot of horses can be the speed. The question is, will they be the speed? I just think Basquiat's supposed to be on the front end in here. The best horse with the most speed. Why would you fool
Put him
around?
on the front end.
Irish Mia's not terrible. Caught the soft turf in the Saranac. Got some races that are okay in the turf. Thought that second to Soli Volante was all right in the pulpit.
Yeah.
Seemed like the second best horse to me. You got any smart ideas in here?
But Ever Dangerous was the horse that I thought was a little interesting. He breaks his maiden first time out, then he runs into Gufo, domestic spending.
Well,
and
he had a
Decorated
terrible
Invader.
trip in his second start. He was very wide. He didn't
Yeah.
run that badly. But I thought he stunk since then. But they were
Okay,
better
but
horses.
he's just running against much better
No,
horses,
I know.
isn't he?
I know, but he didn't do any running in those
I know.
races. That's the problem
I
I
know.
had. I got him fourth
After
or
his
third,
second,
but
after his second race, his form, his first 2 races are considerably better than the second 2 races. I don't
yeah, I mean,
disagree
you
with
and I
that.
saw the race, obviously, very,
Yeah.
very similarly. I didn't really see anybody else to like in here. Race
Me
number
either.
9.
I like having the midweek stakes. I like having the
do I.
weekday stakes.
So do I. The White Duke was opting to run a bunch 4 or 5 maidens at Finger Lakes on Tuesday. I don't know what New York one is opting to run against, but not against these. We'll take a look at the Eagle Orb and Looking for Trouble, running second and third behind Thin White Duke.
I think Rudy gets off the duck today, right here.
This horse is supposed to be very tough. The rail was good this day. Looking for Trouble benefited from it. It's obviously not impossible, but he has to get 7. Eagle Orb was coming back in 14 days. Now he's had a little bit more time. I thought Eagle Orb was a very likely winner of this race.
Yeah, not much else to say. It's a rider switch to Jose Ortiz. You mentioned the fact
Can't
that he was
hurt.
coming back quick last time. Yeah, with the horse that beat him last time, Thin White Duke, coming out of here. You know, Looking at Trouble, I don't think more distance is going to be this horse's friend. I know you feel
No,
like
but
it's,
speeds always worry me.
Yeah.
But isn't half right supposed to go in here?
Yeah, well, down from the inside, of course.
You've got him second, huh?
Especially. Yeah, you know, I thought he ran okay first time out. I really did. And
Doesn't
I
he
don't
have to deal
know.
with Looking for Trouble?
say again.
Doesn't he have to deal with Looking for
Yeah,
Trouble?
he does. But I thought he ran okay first time out. Maybe he lets Looking at Trouble go and sits off him. I don't know. I mean, you'd think he'd have to leave for some position, but Looking for Trouble, I would imagine, is going to try to clear here. I can't see another. I can't see another scenario where he wins, and he's been in front in all 3 of his races, whereas the other horse just ran once.
But he was quick.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
is
the
quick.
rail.
He's quick.
I'm going to use the 2 Windy Nations,
Okay.
who was entered in the funny side, and Irad was actually named to ride. He scratched that day. You know, Irad was on him. He wasn't on Eagle Orb. Now, maybe he'd already committed to riding him, and they scratched. It's a private purchase. He was owned by Russell Cash, who trained him and owned him for his first race. I know it was a slow race. I thought he was visually impressive that day, and if Paradise Farms thought enough to purchase this horse and give it to Maker, I thought this New York bred could be a little interesting. I don't know what they paid for this horse, but ran a maiden 25 first time out. I want to see what this horse does. I'm going to use 2s and 4s.
Okay.
Take my chance that the 4 beats the one we've seen. Brooklyn Strong, the one thing I'd say, though, about the 3 Brooklyn Strong, the horse does have 2-turn experience.
Yeah, coming back to the 7, he certainly figures to have coming back to from the mile and from the 2 turns. He figures to have a little bit of a
He has a little
the
bottom
fitness
from that.
question.
Yeah, a little bit of the
fitness
bottom
question's
from there.
gone.
I don't know if he beat anybody, but
Right.
race number 10, big scratch. Linda. This is Linda's first ridiculous scratch to meet, right? Now, maybe it's a vet scratch. I don't want to tease her too much. Horse is coming back relatively quickly. To be fair, is coming back in 13 days. What'd you do? Oh, you got the same horse as me?
Same horse.
Wow. Okay.
Trainer change. I tried this horse a lot when he came back from the break, from the late winter, early spring break. Tried this horse a couple of times.
The 9 and 2 are scratched here, by the way.
Yeah.
The MTOs are
Take
out.
the MTOs out. Gets the bug boy. Gets a trainer change to Wayne Potts. Gets a pair of blinkers.
I couldn't resist the trainer change
Yeah.
either.
And you know what? It's funny. You don't care about this anywhere nearly as much as I do. This horse has always had some kind of. He's had some speed in his career. And he also looks like that
so
he
out of
just
your mind.
goofs around a little bit. Maybe the blinkers are going to help. I mean,
Well, he has enough speed to be
Yeah.
forward in this race. Why wouldn't he be
Yeah.
forward in here? Or
and the
big,
blinkers might. I
fast
think the
horses?
blinkers will help his cause. I don't think he's ever worn blinkers. I only have the.
Why do you have Boom Coom Boom Boom second? Hasn't he sort of proven that he stinks?
I originally had him 3rd, but
But why would you even have him 3rd?
hasn't he proven that he stinks?
Yeah, he's been terrible, and he's had perfect trips. He's been awful. I bet him
I
in a couple
mean-
of them. Well, I mean, I don't. What's wrong with Frat? Frat's last race.
Nothing. I got Frat 3rd.
Frat ran a lot better than Boom Boom Kaboom last time. What about
I
Money in the
guess.
Bank? What's so bad about Money in the Bank's race 2 back?
No whip.
Oh,
Be very careful. No whip.
The whip issue has become a hot button topic.
A whip.
That's all you got?
I got nothing else for you, pal.
Yeah, I like that. I always saw the 10 had a little bit of ability as well,
Yeah.
and I saw the trainer change.
I think the blinkers are going to the
pots.
trainer change. Obviously, I think the blinkers are going to help.
And you wonder the trainer changed with him. You know, he was training at Monmouth, so he clearly was shipped down to Monmouth.
Yeah.
We done?
I mean, I think
Opening
so.
day at Keeneland. Who you like in the Alcibiades? I had that somewhere.
I don't really have an opinion today.
I'm curious to see what that horse in the outside simply.
Simply Ravishing.
Yeah, the horse who ran so well in the off the
The
turf.
one they named
Johnson.
the name they won after me. Yeah, Simply Ravishing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't get this. Peter Brandt would get this, I'm sure. Ravishing Rick Rude. When you say Simply Ravishing, that's who I think of.
Because Peter named a horse after a
There's
wrestling
another one.
fan.
I think
A
there's
wrestling-
another wrestler I think there's a horse in the Midwest,
Really?
maybe with Wayne Lucas. Not
Kowalski?
Kowalski. It might be another one. I bet you Peter Brandt knows who Ravishing Rick Rude is.
How do I know somebody that's in the WWE and you've never heard of them?
That was a shocker the other. You were still in Saratoga when you broke that out on me. I was a little surprised by that.
I was very, very hurt that you didn't know he was. Anyhow, head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, head on over now. Use the promo code PREAK.
Then do it.
And we will match up to $200 your initial deposit plus a $25 free play. Head over to nairabets.com for more information. The Belmont Pimlico Betting Challenge, $300 buy-in, all cash prize pool. That is tomorrow. You have until probably 5 p.m. today, but head over to nairabets.com/challenge. Get involved. Live money contest. Love those live money contests. And finally, the cross-country Big Five. 5 grade 1s, 3 at Keeneland, 2 at Belmont Park. Starts at 4:03 and goes until a little before 6, maybe quarter of or so.
Are you on early today?
I am on early. I'm on early today, late tomorrow.
Okay.
Why?
Because we ended super early.
I know. I wish I had I could make some tea. I wish I had a tea bag to make some more tea for the show. It's supposed to warm up a little, though.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You sure? I'm a little fragilly.
Actually, I know a place where you can get some tea.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right. We're all good then. John and Brielle, the voice of New York racing, will be up next with a reprise of Scratches and Changes.